Hi, everybody. I'm Mia Voss. I'm Joel's weekly sidekick here in the J
And
Goot.
I'm Joel.
And you are Joel, the man, the myth behind all of this business. Today's going to be super busy, so we're going to dive in.
So the more the lounge grows, the more we've realized that this isn't just about any one simple tip or trick or whatever. This is about having a whole set of tools in your tool belt and knowing how to use them based on your needs. Becoming a master of travel. And when I say master of travel, I'm not talking about like traveling a little more often and saving a few bucks. I'm talking about saving so much that you can do anything you want. You don't have to wait for retirement for that dream trip. You can take it next year. So today we're going to talk about all of the different tools that we teach inside of Jagoot Lounge. We'll talk about how you can take advantage of those yourself, whether you're a free subscriber here in Jagoot Village, or if you want to consider our coaching program, which we call Jagoot Lounge. With that said, let's dive in. Let's talk about some of these tools that you can use depending on what you want to do with your leisure travel. So as you know, we cover two different rules. We only have two rules with the Jagoot way of travel. We find cash bargains that are such good deals you can't help but book your schedule around them. Book your vacations around those deals. So number one trick in your tool belt is to just look every day and look with the intention of finding a trip that you're going to make plans around. Now, if you're here in Jagoot Village, you can go over to the guides section and we have videos about exactly where you can look to do that. So, tool number one to have in your tool belt is to just look every day.
I just want to point out, and you even have it in italics with no use of frequent flyer points whatsoever. So again, that's that rule number one is find where the deals are. The deals don't mean that you're going to spend your points. You can spend them in a much better place, and we'll get to that too.
Here's another rule one example. Brooke, who now works for Jagoot, she started as a customer. She now works for Jagoot. She put her mom on a plane home from Madrid for $597. That flight was going for $4,000 when she checked later. Enough of that. Let's talk about another tool. Another tool that you can use is hotel status. So this is something that a lot of us use. You probably see a lot of posts from members who are, having nicer rooms than they've ever had in their lives. And it's not necessarily because of points, it's because of having hotel status. We give some cheat codes on how to earn the highest status possible with hotels. And you don't have to go and stay 50 or 80 or 100 nights at a hotel to do that. The status is for people who do that, but there are cheat codes that you can just earn that status. Sometimes you don't even need to stay a single night. Now, there are all sorts of little rules, and sometimes you can do that, or you can just stay 10 nights, but it's nowhere near the minimum requirements that hotels require. And I was just looking for some examples, and this literally got posted yesterday from one of our lounge members. A couple things highlighted for you. You don't have to read the whole thing, but she's highlighting that they got upgraded to an Ocean View King Suite, zero extra charge. A big difference is you don't want to think about this as savings. Like if you have a $5,000 a year budget, and you can save even 80%, that doesn't change a whole lot. Like saving 4,000 out of a 5,000 budget probably isn't going to change your lifestyle a whole lot. But if you think about, can I get 5 to 10 times more out of that 5,000?
Right.
That's where the definition of vacation entirely changes.
Get free upgrades, free food, late checkout, treated like loyalty with no points required. That's a huge piece of it too, of the shift in the mindset as well, of like what you are getting for these things in addition. That's how you get bit by the bug.
Yep.
It's things like that.
Yeah. It's just about having the right tools and knowing how to use them. That's it. Tool number three, same thing, airline status. There are cheat codes. There are ways that you can earn the status of people who earn them the hard way. So there are people that earn it because their company flies them around, or they just plain spend a lot, or they travel a lot. Yeah, that's the hard way. Have no interest in that, have never had an interest in that. It's easier to just find a cheat code and go do it. And when you have this tool in your tool belt, you can get free upgrades to first class. So you can find bargain coach prices and you can get free upgrades to first class. So you spend less than what people spent in coach. We get that all the time with our lounge members, and you sit in the best seats in the plane. Free bags, that's kind of a given. Once you get to that status, free access to premier check-in, no more lines in security. You get to get in and get settled, get on the plane first, and you still probably paid the least of everyone on the plane. Why? Because you know how to use the tools to your advantage.
So that's using rule number one, like we talked at the very beginning, and then also with this airline status piece is great.
Speaking of, and
Um,
again, so we're still on rule number one.
mhm.
You know me, I always like to kind of have a balance between two. We're talking about 7 tools today. 3 of them involve no points whatsoever.
Mhm.
They can, points make it easier, but they're not required. But Gil was one of our first coaching clients ever. And he just posted this thank you because he's now a platinum pro with American Airlines. And that will last through all of 2022 and into 2023. So this is a really, really big one. This, I think, is like the biggest reason people don't give points the attention that they deserve. You've got to earn the right points. And you don't need to join the lounge to do that. We tell you right there in the guides section what the best credit cards are. If you go to jgoot.com/cards, we actually highlight what our top recommended cards are. Right now, there are 3. In 2 days, that will only be 2. Why? Because the rules change every day. This is also why we started a coaching program, because the rules constantly change and people want to go get more points or want to make sure they have the right card that's working the most for them. And you got to stay on top of what those rules are. Yeah, if you go to jgoot.com/cards, we share the ones that we recommend the most.
Yes.
And those are the ones that will earn you 5, 10, 20 times what other points are. There's another video where we talk about like these 1 or 2 cards are worth all of these others combined. And it's literally that powerful. So the key is to earn the right points and get those free flights, get those upgrades, get those perks that you wouldn't spend real money on 10 to 20 times as fast.
And using
That's
money that you would spend anyway,
yeah,
honestly.
we're not talking about
Yeah.
running up your card just for the
Mm-mm.
sake of getting points. You're still buying the same groceries. You're still going to the same restaurants. You're still filling the same tanks of gas. You're just doing it with cards that actually work for you and get you these benefits. So yeah, there are 2 parts to rule number 2. There are earning multipliers. That's about earning the right points. We get new members all the time that say, oh, I've got 500,000 Marriott points. Oh, I've got 1,000,000 Marriott points, or certain other cards or whatever. And okay, let's work with that. But those are worth a tiny fraction of what other points that you can earn through the cards that we recommend at jgoot.com/cards. So here's an example of earning the right points. One of our members, I went to look up this testimonial because a month ago she said, oh, I've had this card a month and I've already got 317,000 points. As I literally went to search for that this morning so I could just come up with an example of earning the right points that work hard for each dollar that you spend. And now she's up to 400,000 points. So she's had this card 2 months and she has 400,000 points, not from spending $400,000, from spending $18,000. Now, granted, she had some larger than normal expenses, but she wisely used those expenses to put on the card that she knew got her the most bang for the buck. The next tool, redeem your points for more. Get greedy with those points. If you're sitting on 100,000 points, if you're sitting on 500,000 points, learn where to redeem those for maximum value. Because unlike pennies, which pretty much worth a penny no matter how you spend them, points can be worth 5 cents a piece, 10 cents a piece, 25 cents a piece. There are all sorts of ways to earn those points. And then when you learn to redeem them, you multiply them again. Yeah, tool number 5 is to be a hoarder. Hoard those points and never, ever, ever redeem them for less than a penny a piece. Those are all 5 different sets of tools, any one of which can drastically change your travel game. So how do you learn about this? Well, we've got plenty of free resources in the guides section in JGoot Village. Now, those are all actionable, applicable things that you could take and apply and do. There's absolutely no reason that you couldn't apply those and get 1,000 to 5,000 in free travel a year. Just wash, rinse, repeat. That's 1,000 to 5,000 in travel that you wouldn't have done. 1,000 to 5,000 in upgrades you'd never spend real money on. Like when you have these secrets, you can use the cheat codes and just apply them however you like. So that's the free version. And our whole philosophy is like, help you do that. You apply these tools and you can fly your family of 6 for less than the cost of driving there, gas and hotels. Yeah, so tool number 6 is our home study course. So what you see in the guides section, that's a home study course in itself. You can go through that. Like I said, unit 1 covers cash deals. You don't need any points. Unit 2 covers how to get a lot more out of your points. Unit 3 is examples and case studies. Of course, shameless plug for JGoot Lounge. We have a far more comprehensive home study course inside our coaching program that allows you to go through it at your own pace. And then we have what we call checkpoints. And so everyone needs a coach. Michael Jordan needs a coach. Most pro athletes have coaches. They have multiple coaches. They have hitting coaches. They have shooting coaches. They have pitching coaches. And what we found is that our coaching program is there for that too. So we have multiple people who travel this way. Every single one of our coaches started out volunteering, just sharing their expertise. Why? Because we're all that one person in our crowd of friends who everyone says, "Oh, I could wish I could travel like you."
That's right.
And all of us jump on that and we say, "What? Oh, you can. Here, go do this, go do this." And then we just all watch our friends' eyes glaze over and they just think, "Oh, it's too much trouble." And then we're like, "But no, it's not too much trouble. It's so easy." And it like, if you just are open to trying something different, it will change how you travel forever. With the coaching program, basically, we have the home study course. That's kind of like buying the DVD set to your favorite TV show. You can watch it at your own pace. You can binge watch and plow through it in a week. You can, watch a couple episodes a week and get through it. And by the end of a 12-week course, that's kind of our timeline. That's the minimum time that we say, at the end of 12 weeks, you can get on a plane and fly anywhere in the world in first class for free. We also have current events. Like I said, the rules change all the time. Then we kind of have a grad level program also inside the course. These are your dream vacations. We have an exact blueprint of how to plan an overwater bungalow vacation, how to plan an African safari, how to stay at a 5-star all-inclusive resort.
I also want to say the blueprint piece that we have in the lounge is amazing. I love that because it can get very detailed. Again, blueprint, you build something cool.
Well, and that's what introduces the most exciting part, which is our newest introduction to the lounge. The whole idea of checkpoints is we now have all of our experts who all bring their area of expertise. Remember, I just showed you 5 different tools that you can, any one of which, if you master, will double or triple how far you take your travel budget. If you master 2 or 3 of them, you can add a 0 to your travel budget. Literally, you can take $5,000 and get a $50,000 vacation if you master 2 or 3 of the tools. And our checkpoints are just that. So all of our experts have various checkpoints. So at checkpoint 1, you meet Stephanie. Stephanie is our companion pass expert. She's flown with her companion for free all of their trips for the past several years. She knows how to earn that without sign-up bonuses. She knows how to earn it with sign-up bonuses. She knows how to keep it. She's become a Hyatt globalist, so she's learned from other experts. And she's kind of the first point that says, okay, let's get you in. Let's show you how our coaching program works. Let's show you how to get everything you possibly can out of it. She gives you some homework. You go and do that, all within the home study course. She kind of gives you the cheat codes to the home study course. Like, okay, you can fast forward to this section. Definitely watch this video. Checkpoint 2, everyone loves Mira. Mira started as a client who was already an avid traveler, but she knew nothing about points. Now she knows points and her whole world has changed. So we're talking about a travel addict who already built her life around travel. She built her work schedule around travel. She traveled all the time already, but she spent a lot of money on coach flights and 3-star, 2-star budget motels. But that's how much she loved to travel. Now she's doing it in business and first class. She's getting upgraded to penthouse suites. So she's one of our experts who shares, and she's a doctor by trade. All of our experts, by the way, have their own jobs. Travel is a passion of theirs. By trade, she looks at charts and analyzes dozens of charts every day. She's going to do the same thing. She's going to say, okay, how many points do you have? What cards do you have in your wallet? What do you want to do with your vacations over the next year? All right, let's stop spending here. Let's start spending there. Let's get you on the right track so you're just not earning boring amounts of points that get redeemed for boring amounts of redemptions.
She has a great analytical mind to assign to those dreams. So it's super fun. We love Mira.
So remember, we're not all about points. And the best way to not be dependent on points is to have a solid set of tools so that you can find amazing cash deals. Katie has a family of 4. Her husband is from Brazil. They go to Brazil at least annually. They now go twice a year because just their cash deals are half to a third of what they used to spend. On top of that, their family of 4 travels at least monthly. But the big thing is she's not huge on points. She's our Hail Mary play expert. Hail Mary, as you know, is a desperation play. Like you got a funeral that you have to get to. You got a family of 5. You didn't have those flights in the budget. You roll up your sleeves, you try 10 different Hail Marys that we have, and Katie is a master of all of them. She's also quite the packing diva. She's got some YouTube videos about that. Their whole family never checks bags, even when they go for like 2 weeks. Kara's another one of our organic points earners. You know, she said, you know me, like I do not believe in sign-up bonuses. I don't do this. That's going to be my message. I said, please preach it. They take at least one big vacation a year. Like, they don't spend money out of pocket. They do it entirely on points. They do not do sign up bonuses. They know how to earn the most points per dollar spent with every dollar they put on their credit card. Again, that's coming back to that foundational principle of earning multipliers. We're going to show you how to spend just like you always spend, just slightly tweak it so you earn way more points, and then learn how to redeem them a lot more efficiently too. Now it's time to learn how to spend them efficiently. So our last two experts, Tom and Andy. Yeah, this is about getting all you can out of status and points. Tom has been on pretty much every aircraft that flies. He's been an avid traveler. He's been a huge airline fan since he got introduced to business class travel with his dad as a kid. And he knows how to manipulate those points into 5, 10, 20 times what most people get out of them. He's also kind of become the nerd of our group. He geeks out on the numbers. He just did a session last week that melted all of our brain. Bottom line, it was like, hey, here's a cheat code on how you can earn status even faster than the fast cheat code that American is currently offering. Such a gift to our group. And then Andy, like, just fasten your seatbelts. Andy is exotic in every aspect of his life. In the cars he drives, he is a car. He races cars. He travels internationally for those races. Mm-hmm. And little tip, like he's 90% of race car drivers have to fund their own way. Right. So he has to fund his own way, and he does it in first class. He's not going to fly across an ocean and get up the next morning for a race unless he flew there in like very posh, very comfortable first class. He knows how to earn more points than anyone else just on a regular basis. No credit card turning required. He knows how to redeem them for more than anyone else. And he's taught all of us huge lessons on how to take those points and get as much as possible out of them. And then we have other experts, most of whom haven't committed to regular office hours, mostly because they're traveling all the time and they couldn't pin themselves down to a regular amount of time. Joe is our Hyatt globalist expert. He's been a globalist for, I think, as long as that status has existed with Hyatt. He was responsible for getting all of us suites. We all checked into the cheapest room in the place when we all met up in Denver, and he got us all upgraded. He made sure all of us got upgraded to top floor 800 to 1,000 square foot suites. We also all partied in his suite because it was the biggest. John is also a member who became an expert, and he's so sharing in the lounge. He shares every tip and trick. They used to travel not quite monthly. I would say every 5 weeks or so. So maybe like 10 trips a year. Now it's more like 15 to 18 trips a year. They've upped their game in that they're traveling twice as much for the same budget, and they are traveling in way better luxury and traveling twice as often. And there's me. I'm just the guy who tries to keep up with everyone else. And of course, the center of it all, the glue that keeps us all together, is Brooke. Brooke is another client. She's been with Jagoot since the very beginning. They were a travel family, like a typical travel family. They're traveling more than ever before now. Jagoot wouldn't be what it is without her. She was a kindergarten teacher before she quit to come work full time for Jagoot, and she makes sure to nurture every single member, makes sure they get all their questions answered. She helped out. So that's our coaching program. Basically, if you travel more than once or twice internationally and you're tired of doing it in coach, it'd be a great fit. We'll show you how to take those trips that would cost 5 to 10 times more in first class. We'll show you how to actually cut your budget that you're spending on coach. Our goal is we'll show you how to get $10,000 to $50,000 in free travel, whether that's upgrades, traveling more often, first class flights for less than coach prices, all sorts of different ways you can get a lot more out of your travel budget. And I just shared the amazing team that will help you do it and that have helped me do it. I mean, I've learned so much from so many of our coaches.
And to give you guys a little bit of backstory, I mean, Joel and I have known each other for a couple years now. So to watch the evolution of what Jagoot had started out with, the email every day, just telling you what the great flights are, the information to now this team. And this team's really fleshed out, and especially in the last, oh my gosh, 6, 7 months. So pretty fun to see.
We got an amazing team. We'd love to help show you how to use what tools work best for you, whether that's in our free village group in the
Mhm.
guide section or in our paid coaching group.
Thank you.
Happy travels.